So I'm doing this for you guys. We talk a lot about hydration, so Tawnee's going to get her sweat tested now. Is that like kind of an Ironman intensity?
Yeah,
not like a lactic threshold sprint?
This is all steady state, set pace. If you're doing high intensity, you're probably not getting your Ironman pace. So.
Yeah, exactly. So are you guys looking to get like a certain percentage of my FTP and have me hold it there, or are you just letting it be more of like RPE? Okay,
yeah.
so it's my
However
it's a subjective thing.
Rate it. Yes,
Gotcha.
Exactly.
And is there a reason that you want to do it that way, that you guys do that way, versus having the athlete ride at like a specific watt range?
Because when you're testing so many people back to back, not everybody knows the same information. Not everybody uses a comp trainer.
Right.
There's too much variability. So after the warm up, you get a body weight convert. Okay, so if you take the jewelry off, to be most accurate.
I don't know if my sponsor, Betty Designs, will allow me to take that off. Just like,
okay.
Kidding.
That's why just let us know so we can know.
Okay, should I gotta take these off then?
No, you do the warm up first and then we'll do body weight after.
Oh, okay.
And then once you come out with the body weight, then put the patches on you. Sweat patches, and then we'll get you started. Okay? Alright, Matt, should be ready to go in here for a second.
So, yep, so we're going to start 12-minute warm-up. During this warm-up,
Should I start?
yep, you can start. You're going to slowly increase your intensity, and you're going to adjust your own intensity. So you won't shift gears. So what you'll do is hit plus.
You guys are measuring my sweat rate, and what conclusions are you hoping to draw from all the data that you got this week?
So we're measuring sweat rate and sweat sodium concentration. Basically what we know, we did a study during 2003, and same exact thing during the week. We tested about 70 athletes leading up to race day and found that the sweat rate is extremely variable. You can have an average, but the average really doesn't mean anything because it wasn't like a good bell-shaped curve. It was much flatter. So you could say the average was this, but you maybe have a sweat rate that's a third of that or double that. You know, it was really spread out. So the point of the test is that in these conditions with a fan, and we actually will have a fan speed. So during the test, right now it's on low. During the test, we're going to crank it up on high so it simulates what you are in the road.
Even if it's like it feels good though. Like, do you want that? Normally it feels hot and torturous out there.
Yeah. So today is cooler than the last couple days.
Really?
So obviously we can't change the general environment, but what we want to do is have the wind speed similar, so we get the evaporative cooling off your skin. So what that would be. So for a lot of the athletes, we turned it up and it actually can get up to, 20, 22, 23 miles an hour. Miles an hour for the fan is actually a pretty strong fan. And then we'll give you your individual loss, which we know that a few things affect that. The environmental conditions will affect what you're going to lose. Exercise intensity is going to affect what you're going to lose. But you'll know for the exercise intensity that you choose for the test and the conditions, we'll give you environmental conditions to do basically what you're losing, your sweat rate and sweat sodium.
And then having the athletes drink whatever they want, either Gatorade or water, what's the reason behind not making them drink one or the other?
Because it's not going to have any effect on the actual sweat sodium concentration.
It won't?
No.
So Gatorade drinking a sports drink doesn't have effects on your sweat sodium?
Right, exactly. Yeah, even like your diet, like if I have more sodium in my diet than you have in your diet, or a couple days I have a higher sodium or lower sodium, it's not going to be shown by big differences in your sodium concentration. It's going to be more in your urine, in your body. Your kidneys are going to work on getting rid of the excess sodium.
Okay, and then also letting the athlete drink like ad libitum into their own versus having it be like drink, what is it, 20 or 10 ounces in the 30-minute trial. We just want them to do as they do naturally.
Exactly, because we don't know what their losses are, so we wouldn't make a recommendation for a certain amount. Like I mentioned, everyone's kind of a little bit different for their losses. So it's for the test, for the 30-minute test, if they become a little bit dehydrated, it's not going to have a major impact on what they're actually losing. If they're severely dehydrated, if they didn't have any, they've been on the island, didn't have any fluids, and came in dehydrated, we wouldn't know. We're not testing their hydration status before. Then
So then what do you guys do with the data?
So the number one purpose of this is more athlete service. It's really,
Oh, really?
telling the athletes what they're doing. So
Oh, wow.
it's giving them the information. That's our main reason why we're here. So the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we have three main areas. One is athlete service, just
Yeah.
helping athletes. Another is research, and the other one is education. So here we're doing the athlete service, working with the athlete, and then we're helping educate, so talking about sports nutrition,
Cool.
helping build a plan, and we are doing a research aspect also.
Right.
So some of the things from that side are we're looking at different methodology. So for the athletes on race day, we're able to use their data, and what we're going to do with you today is put one patch on your arm and one on your back, because that's all we need to give you your information. For the athletes that signed up for the full test and are doing everything, they actually have 2 patches on their arm and 2 on their back. And what we're doing is analyzing the samples here, then sending some back and reanalyzing it the same way, and then analyzing with another piece of equipment. So one is methodology. We're actually looking at different effects of different equipment and time and transport of the on gssiweb.org. We have a fluid loss calculator, so the actual fluid loss part, the sweat rate, athletes can do on their own.
Okay.
And that's what we recommend is pick a couple environments, a couple exercise intensities, multiple tests, and then see what your losses are in those
Cool.
conditions.
With a huge freaking
Oh my gosh.
You could sign for that guy. He's like he loves all of
I would love to. I don't have anything on me at the moment, but
go get
I'll sign anything. I'll sign his
What's going on
phone.
here?
Well,
What's going on?
now we're getting patched up, so I get to drink water to thirst, and basically they're going to be measuring.
Did you swallow one of those
Oh yeah,
thermometer
is
things?
that part of it? Swallowing the thermal? Are we measuring the core temp or anything?
No, we're not.
Okay, because I know that was in the form. I think it talked about that.
For one of the options, so that form listed all the potential things that we do in the lab.
That'd be fun.
Except for the retrieval.
Oh, do you have to? Oh yeah, you have to like dig through.
No.
You don't?
I think they're disposable these days.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, that's the
30
one.
minutes.
So you've got 2 patches on your back.
He listens to all your stuff and reads all your stuff. Do you want
Little moment of
should I do?
starving.
Yeah, the other Sharpie. It's gonna look so. Okay. Should I do it on the bill or on the hat?
On the bill.
On the bill.
Yeah, it's really hard to write on the floppy. Is that for you?
Thanks, Tommy.
Dude, you're very, very welcome.
Nice to
Grab
meet
the
you.
shirt.
Oh, right there. All right. Yeah.
What are you doing out here?
My cousin's racing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm his Sherpa or
Nice.
support guy.
Hey, don't
Maybe-
take that job lightly.
Oh, I don't. I
It's
take it very seriously.
Very hard.
I was a pup man for it one time.
It feels good. It feels good about it. I think the wind.
All right, thanks, Connie.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. See you later.
So what is this thing?
I'm measuring wind speed right now.
Oh, nice. We get to play with all the cool toys.
I know.
Yeah.
So what's going on now?
Just making some adjustments. Just kidding. Putting on the heart rate.
That's a major adjustment.
Right? And where are we going to see that pop up? Anywhere? Heart rate data?
I'll be holding the watch.
Okay.
So you won't be able to see your heart rate?
I can mount it on here if you want to.
I'd be curious, yeah. To see how close I am to math. What are you seeing this week in terms of sweat loss rates in this climate? You said
Yeah, so this week so far, we've seen, I don't know the exact number, but we've seen about 400 milliliters on the low end per hour,
Okay.
and around 2.2 liters per hour on the high end. Now, once again, remember, we're having people exercise at their individual Ironman
RPE,
race
yeah.
intensity.
Yeah, like look at this guy right now.
So,
Yeah.
And me. I'm not that
Yeah,
sweaty.
you're dry.
But I know my effort's there. There's definitely that. But to your point, you know, as you get more acclimatized to being a better sweater, or the more you work out and eat, like I was telling you, it's been a brutal summer in Southern California, and I've been training in it. So, it's all good. So then what would you guys give as a recommendation? So you see someone at 400 milliliters an hour, all the way up to 2+ milliliters an hour. What do you guys like to recommend as their fueling hydration replacement?
So one of the things to think about is, you know, race day is in a couple days.
Yeah.
So always recommend for the athlete to do it in training, not make drastic changes to their plan. They need to know what they're doing and how they handle it before they attempt to do it during a race. Having said that, you know, we would say that the athlete should go in with a plan. They understand for the conditions, for the exercise intensity, about what their individual losses are, so that they can have an idea of what they want to plan to do. And within that plan, they should be thinking about, you know, what's their sweat rate, how much fluid are they taking in. The carbohydrate's important, so endurance athletes up to 90 grams per hour of carbohydrate. So if someone's taking a sports drink, someone's taking water, gels, it's all a balance of, okay, I want to make sure I get my fluid that I want to get, make sure I get my carbohydrate that I want to get,
Yeah.
and work that plan out.
So if someone's an extreme sweater, what would you tell them? Avoid, you can drink this much, but avoid going beyond this number because you could risk hyponatremia. Like, do you talk in those terms when you're advising athletes at all?
Well, if someone is an extreme heavy sweater as in fluid volume,
Yeah.
they're gonna not be able to replace, right? So they're gonna become dehydrated.
Right.
You know, when you become dehydrated, that you're actually gonna be increasing the concentration of sodium in your blood.
Exactly. But I'm thinking more about from the opposite end of someone who's like, I sweat a lot, I'm just going to keep drinking and then risking the hyponatremia. So like, if you're...
Odds are those people aren't the ones that are gonna get hyponatremia because they're not gonna replace what they're losing. Because they won't be able to absorb it. They're probably, if they try and match, let's say someone has a sweat rate of 2 liters an hour.
Yeah.
And we know that people likely cannot absorb that amount of fluid, right? So if they're losing 2 liters an hour and maybe they're taking in 1 liter an hour, every hour they're exercising,
They're
dropping
still in a deficit.
right. So the people that maybe are going to be risking hyponatremia, let's say they have a moderate or lower sweat rate and they're drinking more than what they're actually losing and diluting.
I get some water while
Yep.
we're at it.
And they're diluting their blood sodium levels by over drinking beyond what they're actually sweating. Those are the situations that can cause the issues.
Gotcha.
I think those are the kind of people that Tim Noakes talks about all the time, like people
Yeah.
who do like a marathon but have the gun belts of water around their waist. And they're not necessarily losing a lot of water, but they're convinced they need to drink more.
Right, so you'll have people then that maybe they have a plan going into it. Maybe they don't know what they're actually sweating. Maybe their exercise intensity changes, so they're no longer going what they tested at, and now they're going slower intensity, not sweating as much.
Or it's an October
Then you're
race,
gonna be-
or chilly.
Yeah.
He's putting on the rubber gloves.
So that guy over there, if you guys just saw, he sweats 2.4 liters an hour. Think about that. The normal human should drink about 3 liters in a day. It's a lot of liquids. And he's sweating that an hour.
20 seconds to go.
And then what happens? She goes
And
and
she's gonna get off and towel dry and get a body weight.
wait, towel dry, and then you weigh the towel as well?
No, she's gonna towel dry before she gets on there, so that she doesn't have anything stuck on her skin when she's doing the weight. And you're done. Trapped in, that's some sweat that's trapped in your clothing, so
Yeah.
you would have a little bit higher sweat rate than
Okay.
what's indicated here. But based on the body mass that you got here, you were at 700 milliliters an hour, so 0.7 liters per hour, and your sodium loss was 676 milligrams per hour.
Okay. So the 25 ounces an hour is what you would recommend I drink? Or,
So if you would want to get, this is the amount that you can actually absorb, right?
Okay.
700 is typically something that someone can handle. So that's basically 1 bottle. And we would recommend that you would get close to that number, but you can handle some amount of dehydration, just not, most of the studies do show that once you get beyond 2-3%, now it's a different situation based on the environment and the environment that different studies are done in, and wherever you're going to be doing your exercise or your racing. But you wouldn't, remember your sweat rate's probably a little bit different because of the clothing. So, but if this is what your estimated sweat rate is, yes, you would want to get close to the number.
Right. What's interesting is that I normally, like I was saying before, drink to thirst and drink ad libitum with whatever I feel, and I'm always within that number, plus or minus 100, 200 milliliters. So that's kind of cool to see that actually out there. And I think even though I didn't look that sweaty, I felt as soon as I got off the bike and away from the wind, I could tell that I was way more sweaty. I am fresh off literally a full day of travel yesterday, and potentially still kind of dehydrated from that. I've drank a lot of coffee today, I'm not lying. I mean, I'm wondering how much like kind of those variables would affect that, or if that's kind of more reliable, or it's not going to change that much.
I mean, if someone is very dehydrated, we know that the blood is not going to be as shunted as much to the skin, so you may have a little bit lower sweat rate if you're in dehydrated state.
Yeah.
Now, it's hard to say how dehydrated you may be.
I don't feel that dehydrated, but just after a full day in a plane, like sometimes you're getting served little bits of water here and there and trying to buy it in between. But anyways.
All right, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
We're at 19.5 miles an hour was the wind speed.
Okay. Wow, that's some pretty aggressive winds. I feel good about that. That was really, really interesting. And I want to thank you guys, actually. Like, the fact that you guys are doing this for more of an athlete service right now than anything is phenomenal. I think that's so great.
Thank you. I mean, that's really the mission because we're part of Gatorade Sports Science Institute, and so we do the research, service, and education, and it's all about our mission being to help health and performance for the athletes. So it's nice we're able to come out and help them out.
Yeah, very good. Well, we'll have to be in touch. Meantime, I'm going to go get some Pokey, I think, to refuel with sodium, salt on it. Just kidding. But definitely my watts and heart rate. My heart rate was definitely too high for probably what I would race Ironman at, but
Your travel yesterday, caffeine.
and the heat, and I'm seriously jacked up on caffeine right now.
Yeah. That'd do it.
Math would not be happy about that, but it is what it is.